Hi, I'm Clark Kent.
Dude!
Where did Jake Mock go?
Jake!
He left. He had to go away,
Wait.
but
Now I don't know who you are.
and boom, I'm back to being Jake Mock.
Jake!
Apparently,
Wow.
glasses can hide your identity just as well as a mask can. Hello and welcome to the Nerdvine. I'm Jake Mock.
I'm Gabriel Lee.
I'm Brody Weber.
And welcome to the source for all things nerdy, comic books, television shows, and movies. And since this is the first episode, we thought we'd go over exactly what's going to happen in the show and other videos that here on the Trend Geek channel. This show is the Nerdvine. This show is going to be all about things, comic books, nerdy stuff like television, movies, and things like that. We'll also do gaming videos where we'll play both tabletop games, card games, and even some video games, and then maybe a challenge video here and there. And so off to the first topic today, which is the Star Wars anthology films, or the Star Wars spin-off films. Rogue One comes out on December 16th, 2016.
If you don't know what Rogue Squadron is the squadron in the episode 4 that Luke Skywalker's in that takes on the Death Star. At that point it's called Red Squadron, and it was later changed to Rogue. In the expanded universe, whether they're going to keep that same story, I don't know. That's not clear.
You would think they would, just because so many people know it now. I know Disney said that the expanded universe stuff
They're going to keep some of it.
Doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist, but they're picking and choosing, because the expanded universe obviously was a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it, but there was too much in it to bring into the movies without backstory. That would be kind of hard.
There's a lot of backstory to those things.
As bitter as I am, as you know, expanded universe nerd about that, it's just I understand the point, and so what we're talking about is spin-offs. They've confirmed Rogue One, and they're going to make Star Wars 8, as far as I know. But what we're trying to discuss today is what other stories there are that they could make spin-offs of.
There are so many. I mean, given just the history of Star Wars itself, episodes 1 through 6, there are so many individual characters that would be amazing to see have their own stories. I mean, like Yoda would be amazing to see have his own story.
Mace Windu
would be amazing.
Yeah.
Count Dooku, I think, would be a great story to see how where he originated and see how his progression to what he became in the Force.
Well, I don't know whether they're going to focus. They're going to leave the prequel as it is. They could do a pre-prequel stories, like original origin of the Jedi, blah blah. They could do that. They may lean more towards things after Episode 6, like fleshing out characters after that, or between 6 and 7. Is what I'm thinking. They're going to actually do a couple between that.
Yeah, because
it's a long period of time.
It's a long period of
time, and there's a lot of stories that they can now tell because they've wiped the slate clean, pretty much. So, one thing I was thinking last night. I was driving home, and I was thinking about doing a Star Wars Mandalore story of Boba Fett after 6, because right now they've confirmed that he's not. They say he's like a Schrodinger's cat. He's neither alive nor dead. They don't have a story for him.
He's in limbo.
He's not confirmed dead in the Sarlacc. He's not confirmed alive. So the creative team has confirmed that. And I was thinking of a story of basically him after 6, and they could bring in the Mandalorian culture, which is a huge subset in nerddom. Star Wars nerddom is the Mandalorian culture.
Mm-hmm. Which is really just a creatively genius way, like keeping Boba Fett neither alive nor dead in the Sarlacc. It leaves them open for so many different possibilities.
Of
going.
He's not going to be in 7, but
no, he is.
Right. Doesn't mean he's dead.
No.
He's probably hungry though.
Yeah.
Do you have any characters you'd like to see come to fruition?
No, not really. Pretty much just Mace Windu, honestly, because he has a purple lightsaber and he's black. And it's Samuel L. Jackson,
He has a purple lightsaber and he's black. Oh, he's awesome.
It's Samuel L. Jackson,
He can have a robot hand.
Nick Fury cameo, No,
it's so amazing to think Mace Windu comes in in episode 7. I know he's dead, but he's supposed to be dead in the movies, but he comes randomly in. He's wearing an eye patch.
He walks in the wrong side.
I'm assembling a team.
Team of strong Jedi.
He got this bright white hair. He's like, I'm assembling a team. He's got this robot arm. His arm got cut off. He's got an actual metal claymore as his lightsaber.
Mace Windu, Agent of
He's got a mace.
He's got a mace. A mace lightsaber.
Mace Windu.
No, the only Boba Fett's always been my character, my favorite. So if I really hope they do something with him.
He's the most hyped character in Star Wars with the least screen time.
Yeah. Or even if they did like a background of Django. I don't know if there is one, if there's been one of that, but I've always just liked those two, Django and Boba.
I just like the culture.
Yeah, because like I don't know, it's always been for me. I like jets and stuff like that, and like the fact that they use guns in a lightsaber, Jedi dominated world. Not Jedi, but like lightsaber dominated
universe.
Yeah,
it's basically like it's like Batman to the to the the DC universe. He's just a guy who's just really skilled, who's going out there and taking down people.
Yeah, fueled by his anger and daddy problems.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Boba Fett's Batman.
Boba Fett's Batman.
Really, daddy problems.
His father was killed in front of him.
His father got demasculated like entirely. Because his head got cut off. Like, there's nothing else he can do. He's not manly anymore. He's just completely demasculated.
Can't be manly without a head.
No, you can't. And now we're going to go on to the topic of the day where we discuss our favorite superheroes and our least favorite superheroes.
Definitely.
So, my favorite superhero is Iron Man. Just because of he's got a lot of money, he made everything, and he's like very arrogant, but he tries to work through it once he starts his relationship with Pepper, which I think is respectable. He's the more, I know superheroes aren't like humanized, like they're not realistic, but Iron Man to me is the most realistic superhero there is. Because I mean the Iron Man suit isn't realistic, but like even in today, like when Advanced Warfare came out, like the exosuits, the military has exosuits. Like they're starting to make progress towards.
Just don't have the power supply.
Right, exactly. It's just the
lasers.
The lasers and the jumping and they only have the suit and it's really heavy. That's it. But they're working on it. So like, I'm hoping in my lifetime having an Iron Man suit would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. Oh
yeah. But so he's just because I feel relatable to him.
My favorite. And it's not going to be a surprise to anybody who actually follows me on Twitter or Facebook, but it's Deadpool. My absolute favorite character, like of any comic book, and like not necessarily favorite character in media, but definitely my favorite character in a comic book, just because of his sheer ability to just break down the wall of the reader in the comic book, and then also the other characters in the comic. So he's self-aware he's a comic book character, and that to me is one of the coolest things I've ever read in a comic. That and how about the fact where he's just really cool. I mean, if you read of any of his stuff or seen any of his, like him in cartoons or his video game, almost everything about him is just fantastic. And that's why he's my favorite superhero.
My favorite superhero, and this superhero is probably the most broken superhero in the entire. Well, maybe not the most broken superhero. I think the most broken superhero in the DC universe is the Flash. I like the Flash. So the DC universe, he's human, which I like the fact that he's human, and he seems to be very sincere. He believes what he's doing, and he has to use, and his powers is always overpowered. Obviously, he can turn back time. He can run on the clouds. Literally there's a bunch of things where like the one character he fights says there's literally nowhere I can go where you can't go. And which is funny because he can't fly, but he can still get there somehow. But he approaches all his problems from a scientific perspective. Like he has to think of new ways to use the power he has to do things, which I think makes him a complex character. And basically, it's he's always running towards things, but he's never quite fast enough. Even though how fast he is, he's always struggling to do everything because all the things he has to do. I like him as a character because he's complex. Yeah, I like that about him.
Oh, definitely. And we discussed this before we started rolling, but we're pretty much all unanimous on who our least favorite superhero is. And so just on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, Superman, obviously. And I think our reasons are pretty much the same, but we'll start with Brody. What is your reasoning behind Superman being your least favorite superhero? I know this is an unpopular opinion, and there's going to be so many hate comments, but let's go with this.
But that's how you get views. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, hey, no.
A view's a view.
It's true.
I don't care if you don't like our opinions.
the biggest thing that I don't like about Superman, I know he's not the most overpowered, but he's very overpowered, and the fact that he's like one of the first superhero, I think he is actually the first superhero, right?
He's one of the first. I mean, there's a couple before him, but he's one of the first.
But
first major ones anyway.
There's no grid. There wasn't a grid for like what overpowered is. So like X-ray vision, he can fly fast as a bullet, invincible. Like they just threw everything they could, which is great. I mean, like there's no grid. No one knew what a superhero was at the time. It was like it was trending, and so like then I'm sure it was really cool. But now with all these other superheroes, he's very overpowered, and in the comics, I think really what it is the fanboys that I hate. The fanboys make me hate Superman. Yeah, and he's just irritating. Yeah, he's so nice. It's annoying. That's it. Like, he's just...
That's one of the reasons I don't like him so much. Is because he's such a Boy Scout. He's such a Boy Scout.
Oh my gosh, that's a great. I like that.
That's one of my main reasons for hating him. I could deal with the fact that he's overpowered, and this is not to say I don't like Superman. I will go watch. I love Man of Steel, and I'll go watch Batman v Superman. Obviously, more because of Batman, just because Batman's Batman.
And Ben Affleck. I mean,
yeah, Batfleck. I'm gonna go see Batfleck. And but that's one of my main reasons why I don't like Superman is he's just too good, and he always wins. Not all the time. He loses every once in a while, but he never really loses like himself. He loses somebody else, which can be emotionally damaging towards him. But he never necessarily loses.
Over it.
Yeah, he never really loses like so many other characters have. Deadpool's been defeated. Of course he can't die, but he's been defeated. Almost every other superhero I can think of has been defeated, and Superman constantly wins. And there's no way for a character to progress in his life or in his journey if he doesn't lose every once in a while.
You can't have character development without trauma. You can't. Right? And the thing is, you can't make him human because he's not human.
No,
he doesn't think. Honestly, you think about the way he is. He doesn't think like a human. He's so stuck in that way because he's not human. And I think that's hard. It's harder for him. It's easy to relate to human characters, superhero characters, for some people than Superman because he's not. And like I think we talked about it earlier, he's the most popular undocumented legal alien.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually he's got his green card.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have his green card.
No, he's undocumented.
He's undocumented. They don't even know they don't know Clark Kent is an alien. No, he never told anyone.
That's true.
The government doesn't know that.
The government doesn't need to know.
I mean, they really do.
They probably do.
And I think that's maybe something that's going to be really cool and addressed in Batman v Superman, as we saw in the trailer. He's actually on trial, and I think it's one of the best ideas I've ever heard for a Superman film is actually putting Superman on trial because we've all seen past Superman films and past comics and past television shows where like, yeah, he saved the day, but then you look, oh yeah, he destroyed half a city of thousands of people. He didn't do it directly, but still,
it happened.
It happened. So like putting him on trial for all the people that he killed with his little interplanetary squabble is something that's going to be really cool to be seen on film.
That's one of my favorite jokes on the internet about the Avengers versus Man of Steel debate, where it's like the Avengers, they contain the violence to 6 city blocks that aren't barely damaged, and Superman, he destroys like 3/4 of the city.
Yeah, Man of Steel, he saves
to be fair, Zod destroyed like some of it, but then Superman is punching Zod through buildings constantly. So you think he'd take him up, higher and punch him through, satellites.
Yeah.
He did it once, but still.
In my defense, not in my defense, because I'm not Superman, but in Superman's defense, it's the first time he's ever fought anyone. So he'd never had a grid of either, like, he didn't know how to fight anyone, maybe looking back. Exactly. It's the first time he's been challenged, which is another reason why I don't like Superman. No, he can't be challenged. Like, if he really unleashed his full potential, there's no way. Even in the comics, he overcomes kryptonite, which I think it's
basically
cool.
an allergy in the comics, pretty much.
Yeah. Why give your character a weakness if he's just?
It's Claritin D.
Literally, in the comics now, he has no weakness. He is a god. There is nothing he can't do.
Right.
And
the point of a weakness is not just to overcome it, but is to deal with it.
Yeah.
If you just overcome a weakness, then there's no point in necessarily giving him that weakness in the first place.
Yeah, you got to embrace
He didn't,
it.
and he didn't. It wasn't like he climbed from the bottom to the top. He started at
the top.
He started at number 9 and climbed to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's starting to extend the numbers, like he's going to 15.
And everyone else is still stuck at 3.
Yeah. And
Like, come on, man.
And then they bring in Batman, and he's like, oh, I can defeat him. When realistically, if Superman and Batman got in a real fight, Superman would win by miles.
Batman's not necessarily trying to kill Superman. He's trying to put him down and show the people that, hey, this guy can be brought down. He's not killed, but he can be brought down.
Exactly.
So your God is false.
So, like,
That's basically what he's trying to do.
I understand that. Like, I know Superman, like, Batman's not... Because Batman doesn't, he doesn't want to kill him.
Batman's smart. And Batman's smart. He knows that he can't.
Right, but
he knows he can't win.
My point is, if Superman let him go down, like, realistically, no matter how much... I guess, like, in the early days, like, with the kryptonite, Batman injected him or whatever.
He could probably die.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think if Superman really tried, he could... Because it's the same reason why he overcame the giant, like, pushy down, like, oil miner thing in Man of Steel. Because, like, that was the Kryptonian environment, yet he still defeated that.
Yeah.
And that's kryptonite.
Kind of.
Yeah, and so in the very first movie, in his very first fight, he overcame kryptonite.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It's just...
What are you going to do?
Yeah, so, like...
out flew a black hole.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so, like, they bring in Batman, and they just, like, kind of Hollywood movie magic. Oh, yeah, Batman defeated Superman. He didn't. Superman let him win.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, Superman cannot be defeated.
No.
And it's annoying.
It's very much annoying. And so, Gabe, I'm pretty much sure that your same reasons.
Well,
for us.
Yeah, the only thing that I'll extend that just a little bit. I don't like the fact that whenever Superman has a crisis where something he can't delete, they just add another ability.
Yeah.
Like it seems like that every time. It's like, oh no, I can now I can generate I don't know, black holes with my teeth or something. I can spit black holes out of my, I don't know, face.
It's like Spider-Man with the spiders, shooting little spiders.
Shooting black holes at people. Yeah,
we should totally make that again. We all did that.
That was awesome. There's a comic where he holds a black hole in his hands, and I'm just like, what?
Why?
Why?
It's not an object.
He punches something so hard he rips a hole in reality. But the absolute worst thing. There's a reference. There's another YouTuber I'm not going to mention for no reasons, but they make a mention of the fact that there's a scene in a comic book. That kid Jimmy Olsen sends a message to Superman on a radio.
Okay.
A radio message to Superman, and Superman arrives 2 minutes later. He was 40 light years away.
Wow.
He heard the message 40 light years away on a light speed transmission.
Wait, a radio transmission?
Radio transmission.
I can't get like Archibald radio in Toledo. How does that work?
It doesn't work. That's the thing. Like Superman's gotten so overpowered they don't even bother explaining it anymore.
It's kind of like Dr. Who. They're like, space stuff. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Except exactly you don't care because that's not the main plot. Superman, he is the plot of everything. He is like it's him. It's not something that he just uses. It's him. It's a part of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. One of the other big fights too.
There's no depth of character.
No, it's
just he's very shallow.
He's two people. He has two identities. He's Clark Kent, schmo, or he's Superman, jerk.
Also schmo.
What's even funnier is the same person. And what backwoods idiot can't figure out that Clark Kent is Superman?
I mean,
I don't know. The colic throws me off.
Just because you put glasses in. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try this. 1 second. Hi, I'm Clark Kent.
Dude,
where did Jake Mock go?
Jake.
He left. He had to go away.
Wait.
But
now I don't know who you are.
And boom, I'm back to being Jake Mock.
Jake!
Apparently, glasses can hide your identity just as well as a mask can.
Like if they explain that away, like he was a mild telepath and he was like altering his facial appearance or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's wearing like.
He's not Mystique. Like that's just another thing. Hey,
he exudes this minor telepathic field of just don't look at me.
yeah, it's just like isn't there a superhero that does?
It's
that?
like the silence, or like.
Or something?
There are superheroes that do that.
Yeah.
It's like the silence, where the minute you look away, you forget who you were just looking at. Like that's Superman. Oh no.
Wait,
They make
what?
fun of that in Superman Returns, and like they're talking about like Clark Kent, like they're referencing his build, height, and his facial features. Like
Exactly. Like
they're
Superman.
laughing, oh, he can't be Superman.
it's like
his
the Peter
chin.
Parker Spider-Man type thing.
He was gone for 10 years, just like Superman.
That's another thing. Superman can't age. Like he's right.
Yeah, no, he can't.
He can't age.
So is there?
Eventually, like you think they figure it out.
Okay, let's say it's been 200 years and Clark Kent still works at the Daily Planet. What's up?
So here's my thing. It's
Like
like
the Daily Planet's still even around in 200.
well, it's a lot like Wolverine. Wolverine can age. It's just very slow because of his. I think it's because of his healing factor or something.
Yeah.
So he can age. Obviously, Old Man Logan and like all that stuff. Superman can't age, yet he grew. He was a baby.
He matured.
Yeah. So what's
So
like,
is like he leveled up and he maxed out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
That's what they're gonna-
He gets 60, and it's kind of like he can't go any farther.
He's just maxed. He's
He just gets
re-leveling.
prestige.
Okay, he's prestiging. Yes, he's just unlocking
like-
legendary now.
It's like his biology only extends to American male 35-year-old, and it stops there.
Yeah, dude. Imagine if he was Russian. That'd be even worse.
Maybe he ran out of his the kryptonite growth supplement at that point or something.
Yeah. So it's like
He's like, I already got the muscles. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Wow. Although, to shed some light on Superman, Henry Cavill or whatever
Cavill.
Cavill.
He's doing an amazing job.
He
as
really
the
is.
character.
He looks
far-
the part of Superman. I don't
looks
think
the part.
he could not walk through an average doorway at this point.
He's just like
He turned sideways to go through a regular sized doorway.
he
The absolute best, the worst thing about Superman is the briefs.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a contrast.
Go to boxers, man. Everyone else did.
I'm good without.
He doesn't even have the extended legs either.
I mean, I don't know what's worse. The fact that in all the movies before he's wearing briefs, or the fact that he's probably not even wearing underwear the next one.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. He's going commando. That sounds like pretty. It's tight. Keeps everything in check. It's ready tighties.
As long as you're on your close-ups, we're all good here.
Okay, I think that's a really good way to end this episode. As I said, I'm Jake Mock.
I'm Gabriel Lee.
I'm Brody Weber.
And if your friends asked, you heard it on the Nerdvine.
That's here.
Action. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Trend Geek, your choice for all things nerd. I'm Jake Mock.
I'm Brody Weber.
I'm Gabriel Lee.
And since this is the first episode, we thought we'd go over exactly what's going to happen in the show. Did I say welcome to Trend Geek?
I think you did.
It's welcome to Nerdvine. Okay, and then preparing. So I'm just going to put it at the end of the screen. We'll go ahead and end it. I don't know what you said.